The Long U Caves, the impossible underground city in 1992. In a small village in eastern China, a farmer drained a pond that had been there for as long as anyone could remember. But instead of finding soil beneath, he uncovered a vast opening, the entrance to something extraordinary. What he had stumbled upon was the first of what we now call the Long U Caves, a massive man-made underground complex carved over 2,000 years ago, and still one of the greatest mysteries in archaeology today. More than 30 of these caves have been discovered, each one towering like a cathedral, with stone pillars supporting perfectly symmetrical chambers. Together, they cover an area of over 30,000 square meters, all dug out by hand from solid rock. The scale of the project is almost unthinkable. It would have required removing millions of cubic feet of stone. Without modern machines, drills, or even iron tools, what makes the caves even more baffling is their precision. The walls are covered in identical parallel chisel marks, carved with such consistency that they look as if created by advanced machinery. And despite their age, the caves have survived untouched by time, with no signs of collapse. An engineering feat even modern builders would struggle to achieve. Yet here's the strangest part. Not a single record exists in Chinese history about their construction. Ancient texts describe temples, palaces, and battles in extraordinary detail, but there is no mention of this enormous project that would have taken decades of labor. Who built the Long U Caves? How did they achieve such impossible precision? And why are they hidden in silence? To this day, the answers remain buried in mystery, making the Long U Caves one of history's most haunting enigmas. Chapter 2. Roman Concrete. The secret that built an empire. If you walk through Rome today, you can still see aqueducts, temples, and harbors built more than 2,000 years ago. While modern concrete structures often crumble in just a few decades, Roman concrete has stood the test of time, surviving earthquakes, floods, and centuries of wear. It is one of the most enduring materials in human history, and yet, even today, science struggles to fully recreate it. Roman engineers used their concrete to build wonders like the Colosseum, Pantheon, and harbors that still stand firm against the waves. What made their recipe so unique? Instead of the sand and cement we use today, they mixed volcanic ash, lime, and seawater. Somehow, this unusual combination created concrete that actually grew stronger over time instead of weaker. Modern researchers have studied it for decades, and only recently did they uncover one of its secrets. Tiny chunks of lime inside the mixture allow the concrete to heal itself. When cracks form, water seeps in, reacts with the lime, and seals the gap. Something modern concrete cannot do. But even with this discovery, the exact methods, proportions, and processes used by the Romans are still debated. How did they know to combine these materials in just the right way? Is it trial and error, or did they have knowledge we've forgotten? Roman concrete wasn't just a building material, it was the foundation of an empire. It allowed them to raise cities, span rivers, and build roads that connected a world. Without it, Rome might never have become the power that shaped Western civilization. And yet in the centuries that followed the empire's fall, this secret recipe was lost to history. Today, engineers are racing to unlock its mystery, hoping it could help us build stronger, longer-lasting, and even greener cities. But for now, Roman concrete remains more than just an ancient material. It's a reminder that sometimes the past still holds the key to the future. Chapter 3. Damascus Steel, the blade of legends. For centuries, warriors spoke in awe of a weapon so sharp and so strong, it seemed almost magical. This was Damascus Steel, a legendary metal used to forge swords that could slice through other blades, bend without breaking, and hold an edge sharper than anything else of its time. Originating in the Middle East around the 3rd century, these blades became famous during the Crusades. European knights feared them, and stories spread of Damascus swords cutting silk in midair, splitting rocks, and even slicing rifle barrels. Whether these tales were exaggerated or not, one fact remains. The true method of creating Damascus steel has been lost for centuries. The secret lay in a material called wood steel, imported from India. Blacksmiths in Damascus transformed it using techniques we still don't fully understand. The metal contained microscopic patterns of carbon that gave the blades their strength and beauty. swirling designs that look like flowing water. But by the 18th century, the knowledge of how to make it vanished. The trade routes closed, the raw materials changed, and the art was forgotten. Modern scientists have tried to recreate Damascus steel using microscopes and advanced metallurgy. Some have come close, but none can match the legendary properties of the originals, even today. We cannot fully explain how ancient smiths, with no modern equipment, mastered a technology that seemed centuries ahead of its time. Damascus steel was more than just a weapon, it was a symbol of knowledge, craftsmanship, and power. And its disappearance reminds us that even the greatest achievements of humanity can be lost to history, leaving behind only stories, artifacts, and mysteries that still inspire wonder. Chapter 4. Inca Stonework. At the walls that defy time high in the Andes Mountains of Peru, overlooking the city of Cusco, stand the massive stone walls of one of the most extraordinary achievements of the Inca civilization. At first glance, these walls might look like a pile of stones stacked together. But look closer, and you'll see something far more mysterious. Each stone, some weighing over 100 tons, was carved and fitted with such precision that no mortar was ever used. And yet the blocks lock together so perfectly that even a razor blade cannot slip between them. The stones aren't uniform in shape either. They're irregular, almost puzzle-like, with dozens of angles. And still, every single block fits flawlessly with the ones around it. How did the Inca cut these stones so smoothly without steel tools or iron chisels? How did they transport such massive blocks across steep mountains with no wheels and no horses or oxen to pull them? Modern engineers still argue over possible techniques, from ropes and ramps to rolling logs, but none of these explanations fully account for the scale and precision of even more incredible. The walls have survived centuries of earthquakes that destroyed modern buildings in Cusco, while houses crumbled. The Inca stonework stood strong, almost as if the builders knew how to make structures flexible and earthquake-resistant long before modern science discovered it. Some archaeologists believe the site was a fortress, while others argue it was a ceremonial center. But one truth remains: the stonework continues to puzzle experts and inspire wonder. It's a reminder that the Inca, often underestimated in history, may have mastered techniques that remain beyond our reach even today. Chapter 5. Greek Fire. The weapon that burned the seas. Imagine sailing into battle, confident in your fleet, when suddenly the enemy unleashes a weapon that seems almost supernatural. Fire that clings to the water and refuses to die out. This was Greek fire, a terrifying weapon of the Byzantine Empire, and one of history's greatest military secrets. First used in the 7th century, Greek fire gave the Byzantines an unmatched advantage at sea. When enemy ships approached, Byzantine forces would spray or launch this burning liquid from bronze tubes mounted on their ships. What happened next was pure chaos. Flames that spread across the surface of the water, engulfing ships, soldiers, and everything in their path. No amount of sand or water could extinguish it. The only reported method was to smother it with vinegar, clay, or urine. But what exactly was Greek fire? It's the mystery. Historians and chemists have tried for centuries to uncover its formula. Some believe it was made with crude oil, pitch, sulfur, or even quicklime. Others think it was a complex chemical mixture that reacted violently on contact with air or water. But the truth is, the recipe was a closely guarded state secret, passed down to only a few trusted engineers. And when the Byzantine Empire fell, the knowledge disappeared forever. What makes Greek fire even more mysterious is how it was deployed. The Byzantines didn't just hurl it in jars like other incendiary weapons of the time. They developed special pressurized devices, a kind of ancient flamethrower, to unleash streams of burning liquid onto enemy fleets. For centuries, this weapon protected Constantinople from invasion and kept the empire alive. Today, we can only guess what Greek fire really was. Some scientists think we might be able to recreate it, but without the exact formula, the secret remains locked in the past. It was a weapon so terrifying and so effective that it became legendary, a reminder that sometimes the deadliest mysteries of history are the ones we cannot solve.